See, I remembered that I can't start that yet. When I done it all and took all the turbo off and everything, put it all back together, I checked everything. Well, I thought I did. Then I started it up and realised it was dripping from underneath, and it is leaking from one of the lines that go into the block for the turbo, one of the water lines. So it's in the worst spot. I tried getting into it from underneath, couldn't do it. So I think I'm going to have to pull the turbo back off. So that's all fun. And I'm pretty sure I stated in that video, you know, make sure as you're going along that you're doing up bolts and they're all tight. Usually I do. Like I'll go over everything. If the turbo's in the way of a heap of things, I'll check all them before I put it on. Make sure they're all tight if you can't get to them. I thought I did. I must have missed that one. My bad, it happens. So now, may have to take the turbo back off just to do up that one line, but we'll see. Yay! Absolute freak of a spot too. Alright, so all done. Had to take the turbo off, and that was just a headache and a half. I got the line all tight and not leaking. Put everything back together, started it, and it was still misfiring. Turns out one of the plugs in cylinder 2, or cylinder 2 plug, is rooted.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Chucked it in cylinder 1 and it showed a misfire code for cylinder 1. So I just bought a whole set of new plugs for it, which require gapping to 0.8. So we're going to gap them up and then chuck them in, and hopefully we're all good. Never ending. So I need to get this sticker off so I can see the other side.
"2,000 years later."
Alright, they're all gapped. 0.8. That one's a little more. Yep. Alright, let's go chuck them in. Can't wait for dinner.
Like I said, we hungry.
I can work all day and come straight here, continue to work all day. Wonderful. Oh. I might have tightened them a bit too tight. Still in there? Yep. Time for some tape inside the socket. Bit of tape scrunched up into a ball. There's the rubber in there, I don't know what was getting it out. Hey, pretty fuely. But God knows how old these plugs are, so I'm going to take a guess, and they don't look that old, but I reckon all of them are misfiring. Because when the coil packs had died, plus the oil, they've just been getting fouled non-stop for however long it's been going on before I got the car. So I reckon this is the overfueling issue. They're just dying. Like, the one that I pulled out still had spark. It looked alright. But like, you'd unplug the coil, whichever one that plug was in, you would unplug it, it would barely change engine tone at all. So it was only just running on at least one of them is about to just die completely. The rest are probably not far off. And the K's on this are pretty low, they're like 100 and something, so I reckon most of this shit's probably going to need to be replaced soon. Oh well. More fun. Not. Right, same with this one. It's pretty shit. It's also a different plug, I think. No, same plug. I know the front one was different. Same with this one. Bit of shit on that. I think the white deposits, they look like a little bit of oil burning. Obviously wet oil will be black, but I think once it combusts and dries, it turns white on the plugs. Like the deposits turn white. Or like creamy colour. And then this one, what's the issue? Definitely cheaper having a 4-cylinder versus 6 or 8, especially for spark plugs. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful.
Nick Minute.
Misfires all sorted, plugs were bad, changed them, all good. Still got some smoking issues after decelling and deacceleration. Catch cans empty, not filling up, so that sucks. Looks like potentially it might be internals of some sort. Common issue with these is the oil control rings getting stuck from crud and carbon build-up and shit like that on the pistons. This did have when I had a look down there, it looked like it had a fair bit of carbon build-up. For now, which seems to be working, I put in some injector cleaner just to clean out as much crud and deposits and shit on the pistons and clean the injectors, etc. And some Rislin ring seal smoke repair, which is probably a load of shit, but it seems to have been slowing it down, and I haven't seen any smoke for a bit. I've had it in there for probably about half an hour. Realistically, I don't see it doing much other than it was pretty thick, so possibly, I think it's got stuff in it to make it thicker. It does have a couple of ingredients that can like break free the ring seals, for the rings if they're stuck to a point, but I reckon this is just thickening up the oil so it's not leaking past. I never usually get this sort of stuff. No. But for now, because if it is a stuck oil control ring, I want to get some Berryman's B-12, which is like high concentrated liquid moly intake cleaner and shit. It's way better. There's been a lot of success with stuck rings and that stuff, but it's hard to get in Australia. So for now, to keep it drivable, if this works for now, that'll be alright, instead of just endless amounts of oil going into it, and the oil's not cheap for one of these. So I'm going to pull the spark plugs and have a look and see what condition they're in, since I replaced them yesterday, and that will tell us more. We'll see what to do from there. So I'll start with pulling all the plugs, check them out. Number one plug looks pretty good. It is overfueling a little, which I think is the O2. It has thrown a couple of codes for that a couple of times. I reckon it's on its way out, just because of all the oil burning and shit and crap getting over them. They don't last long when that happens. Like, I only just turned it off after half an hour drive. That's running pretty cool, but no, that looks okay. From what I can tell, no oil anyway, the very minimum. That's just, yeah, I think that's just petrol. Two was the worst, plug 2. Like, you can see it's a little bit wet in there, a little bit of oil, but it's still not too bad. There's a lot worse. So I'm still going to, if this fixes it, I'm still going to do the B-12 chem tool treatment. So down the cylinders and let it soak on the piston tops for a while. Break up anything free. That's not bad, not too bad. Looks like it's running alright. Bugger all oil. Nice, and that one's alright too. Bit of oil in the threads. That's alright. I gapped these to 0.8 as per what was recommended.
Damn it! I completely forgot.
Alright. Alright, so everything looks good. Plugs look good, dry, so seems to be doing something. Stopping oil up there. In cylinder 2, 3 and 4, it's a little bit wet in there, oily to a point, but I've only driven it for 30 minutes with this stuff in it, so cylinder 1 looks dry as hell. So I'm going to chuck the plugs back in, chuck the coils back in. I'm going to go grab a liquid moly, some sort of liquid moly carbon cleaner, put that in the tank as well, so double the strength, double. I use Newlon's one, and I'm going to use another one, and we'll see how that goes. Take it for a nice highway drive, keep the RPMs up, a decent amount. I don't know, somewhere around 2.5, maybe 3.5. Not too high, because I don't want to just to rev the ring out of it. Just because that helps get rid of carbon deposits as well. So we'll do all that, and then order some B-12, put that down the cylinders, let it soak, rotate the crank, do it again. About a 24-hour process, probably next weekend. And then we'll drain the oil, put some fresh oil in there without any of the Rizline ring repair additive, and then we'll see how it is then. I've never used any of this stuff if I have an issue like this. I usually end up stripping it down, getting a new engine. Never really tried this. I've used ChemiWeld once or twice in like a commie. That's about it, but I'm not putting ChemiWeld through this or anything. Well, I don't need to. That was just for head gasket leaks and shit like that. What I use that for. So yeah, chuck these back in. So I'm going to go up to Autobahn, grab another thing of additive to add to the fuel, probably liquid moly, and then I'll run that through, go do some highway RPMs, and give it the beans a few times, run it all through, and then yeah, we'll see how we go. And once I get another inspection camera, check it all out, and we'll have a look at the deposits on the pistons and stuff. And we'll see what it looks like. And then if all good, run some B-12 chem tool through it on top, clean it all out, and yeah, see where we go from there. Do an oil change, put some coolant in because it's got water in it at the moment because of when I drained it all out for the turbo, when I pulled the turbo off, and then I had a leak and had to pull the turbo off yesterday. Do it all over again pretty much because that one line was all the way up the top of the block and there was no way to get to it without taking the turbo off. So that was a big pain in the arse. Should have checked that properly and made sure it was tight before putting the turbo all back on and everything else.
Oh, really?
But I missed it.
You did it. I didn't. You did it.
So yeah, alright, let's do it. Alright, so I put some of this in, liquid moly, petrol injection cleaner, with the Newlon to about 1/4 of a tank. Way more than's needed, but both of them help clean deposits, carbon deposits and stuff on the pistons and valves, etc. I've been driving for about 2.5 hours on the highway, higher revs, not too high, just trying to keep it higher than about 2 grand. And in the 2 hours that I was driving, for the first half an hour, there was a bit of smoke every now and then. I haven't seen any. Fuel economy has improved already. Little less black smoke, which I think still O2 sensor on its way. So I brought it back. We're gonna pull the plugs, have a look at them, see what condition they're in now, and look at the piston tops and just see if there's any residue like there was on 2, 3 and 4. Probably is, but in the 2 hours I've been driving around on the highway and stopping and starting, just testing it out, trying to clear everything out, I've done plenty of pulls in it, full throttle, bugger all if anything at all. Like most turbo cars are going to blow a bit in higher revs, giving it to it. It's just, I swear it's just what it is what it is. But absolutely improved and is 10 times better than it was. So let's pull these plugs out. I've let it cool down for probably 5 minutes. We're going to let it cool down more while we do this, and then we're going to check the oil and see if we used any. So I haven't done any low RPM driving yet. It's all been high, manual shifting. Just keeping them RPMs high to clear out any carbon. Build up. Already, plug 4s look way better. The electrode looks pretty good. Tip looks good. Still is running a bit rich, but it's alright. Same thing, plug 3, good burn, a little bit rich. Not seeing any oil. Don't know if you can see that, but yeah. 10 times better than it was. Plug 2, same, just a little rich, looking good. Oh, yeah, gotcha. Plug 1's a bit white, but it's dry. Yep. Right, so they look better than they were. Bit hard to tell with just a torch looking down there. I'm just looking at the top that I can see until I get an inspection camera. But no, looks like it's working, which is, I never thought I'd say that.
Imagination.
So I put Rizlon ring repair in, I think it was 500 mils, or 430 or something, and like 400 and 400 of the injector cleaner, carbon cleaner and shit. And it looks like it's actually working.
Good one.
So this will do for now. It's drivable, it's not blowing anything out. I will still do a flush with B-12 chem tool. So it's hard to get in Australia. I think there's only one place in WA that I found that sells it because of the ingredients or something. I'm not 100%. So I'll order 2 or 3 of them, and then we'll get all the pistons at the same level, fill them up, fill up the cylinders, let it sit for 6 hours, rotate the crank a couple of times, see if any's still in there, refill, do it for another 6 hours, and usually that's alright, but I'm going to do it for another 12 hours after that, and hopefully that breaks up anything that's on the pistons. From what I've seen, it will, it does wonders. And then we will drain the oil, drop it, and refill. I'll probably run it for a bit, and then drain it, then refill with good oil, new filter, some good coolant, and hopefully it should be all good. So yeah, it helped. I'm losing less oil, but I've still ordered the B-12 chem tool. I ordered 4 bottles, so gonna do that still. For the time being though, I'm parking it back at the shed. I'm gonna let it soak. I've got an injector cleaner, so I'm gonna funnel them. Got 3 bottles of injector cleaner, Newlon. I'm gonna funnel them into the cylinders and let them sit until the B-12 gets here, just to help remove anything, if it will. But we'll give that a shot. Alright, so that's done. I put 90 mils in each cylinder. So we'll let that soak for about 6 to 7 hours, and then come back, rotate the crank, and then refill. I'll do that a few times. I'll probably do it 3 times, 90 mil each time. And then we'll have a look at the pistons. One was pretty dry. The rear 3 a little bit wet. Still a little bit oily, much better than it was. So yeah, now just gotta wait. Maybe stuck rings, so, well, oil control rings, so the scraper rings, because I've done another compression test, come back perfectly fine, everything did, so I've stuck oil rings / scraper rings, whatever you want to call them. So it's just leaving oil in the cylinder and then in combustion straight out, or valve stem seals, but I've got no other symptoms, so it doesn't blow smoke on cold start, nothing like that, not after sitting for a while. It's mainly when it's warm, and common issue with these is that of stuck oil control rings, just from carbon, and the way they're designed is pretty bad. So the last option I've got, I've tried plenty of carbon deposit cleaners, but I did get a hold of 4, so I ordered 4 of these from WA. They're hard to get, apparently really good for this sort of stuff. B-12 tool, I got 4 of them bad boys, so I overdid it, but if it does work, I wanted to make sure I had enough before I decide to rip the bottom end out and redo the rings or valve stem seals, but I don't think it's valve stem seals. So, but I've tried everything else, so it's looking like it's either damaged, broken, or stuck rings. So hopefully this stuff works. There is still a lot of carbon on top of the piston, so I'm hoping that none of them are damaged, the rings, and they're just stuck and they're not scraping the oil off the cylinder walls. So I'm going to do the old pull all the plugs out. I'm not going to record this, I'm just going to do it. Pull the plugs out, dump in probably 110 mil in each pot, let it sit, probably recommended 4 to 6 hours, rotate, crank a few times by hand, but I'm going to do it pretty much till tomorrow after work, so like 12-ish hours or so, give or take, and or more than that. So yeah, I'll let it sit overnight and that until I finish work, so as long as possible, rotate it. I'll probably do 2 or 3 bottles, yeah, about 2 or 3 bottles. I didn't bring gloves, apparently this stuff is deadly, so I better not touch any of it. Alright, I'm going to do that. Alright, so consensus on the Audi, it is absolutely trashed. It's the rings, whether they're stuck, the control rings are stuck or not, there's no fixing it. Tried the Berryman's B-12, tried every possible additive or chemical to remove any of the carbon buildup on the piston, and if it was stuck rings, to pop them out again. But they're just badly designed. They've got the waffle style crappy tiny little holes on the control rings, and they just get stuck, and there's sort of no way around it once they are. It sucks because it's low Ks, but yeah, just going to end up getting a new engine, putting that in. That's later down the track. So yeah, that's it for the Audi for now. Howdy people, what's going on? Alright, so this will be the last upload for the Audi for a while. This is all old content that I made probably a year or 2 ago, when I went through some stuff. Didn't really do any more for a while, had a lot going on in life, new job, new everything. So yeah, the Audi is like 2-year-old content. It's not the greatest. I was just starting out, just learning stuff, still am learning stuff, but I'm trying to get a little bit better, a little bit more punchy in my content, instead of just blankly talking to a phone. So I talk to you guys, well I'm trying to, but yeah, I figured I'd just edit it the best I can, try and keep it funny because it is a little bit bland, it's a little bit boring, I know, but just for now, this is what I got. So just uploading it so you've got something to watch in the meantime while I work on all this new content, which is coming very soon, hopefully a little bit better. So yeah, enjoy, like, subscribe, comment, Tell me what I can do better, what I'm not doing, what I don't know. I don't know everything. But yeah, I just do this stuff because I love it.